seem like total sham to me. Like what they have to be in the best hotel and be driven in Rolls Royces. Sounds like a scam to me. I mean, and those are, I'm thinking of some of the Indian gurus.
Have you ever heard of Richard Alpert?
I have not.
Ram Dass?
I've heard of Ram Dass.
Have you heard of Brian Johnson? Kind of off topic, but
it's just interesting how so many people travel to India for this knowledge.
Do you think it's a waste of time?
Yeah. All this knowledge about...
They're traveling to India to gain the knowledge. Is that what you said, dude? How many people travel there to try to gain that?
Yeah, I mean, there's whole counterculture. In the late 60s, there's a hippie trail. And there's a lot of people that travel to India. There definitely is, I would say a aspect of Western civilization that leads people to live empty, meaningless lives that they don't really question themselves until, at a certain point in their time, and then they'll question that, and then they go travel and they try to find one of these people, and then people over there understand that there are rich Westerners or wealthy Westerners looking for enlightenment coming over, and so there are a lot of fake sadhus and different people, and definitely the whole self-help new age sort of aspect has always been a money-making part of society. You think about all of the two that you just mentioned, but just a lot of the online self-help stuff. It is all just reworked from old wisdom, and some people out there are just spreading it just to make a buck, make a dollar, make oil salesmen. So I said both sides are occurring, is that there are people in different structures of I guess ways of living that are just unnatural and are leading towards unhappiness that lead people towards the East, and then there are people in the East that are aware of that and kind of capitalize on that. But there is also I think a great deal of going to experience the culture in the landscape is a real experience that is worth traveling for compared to most experiences that people travel for.
Have you been to India?
Not yet, just Nepal.
Oh, that's even better.
And I wasn't really I didn't plan on it. I just started seeing some girl, and after a few weeks of, just after a short little bit, she asked me to go, and I hopped on the opportunity.
Wow.
That's on my bucket list.
Do you meditate on a regular basis, Kyle?
Yeah, I kind of had to.
Or else you were going to go completely insane?
Well, attention wasn't necessarily my forte. And like this is the thing about meditation is like a lot of it is based off of awareness and attention. And like they use the word mindfulness, in the West. We're constantly, as we're living, being bombarded by streams of information, and what are we paying attention to? There's a internal lived experience as we're walking throughout life, and I guess a person could even meditate while they're working, right? They can meditate at any point in at any time, and it's just strength. Like it's at first it's just all it is strengthening the attention network. So like, what are you attending to in the mind, sort of thing? Like, is it a thought about like a past experience or regret, future anticipated experience, like a schedule, a stress, something stress? Like, what are people thinking about? What are they attending to in the mind? And to clear that up as much as possible, to attend to real life as it's happening in the now as much as possible without minimal mental distortion or chatter. And like, and the reason for this is because like the Four Noble Truths, a lot of people are suffering because they're superimposing their opinion onto reality. And that is an attachment to like a view that isn't real. So it's clearing the filter of the mind as much as possible. And so after just working on awareness and attention, it goes much deeper than just that.
Yeah, I've found that it helps me become calm, at least for a couple hours after I've meditated. And then when I become calm, I'm able to kind of accept or enjoy the things that I have to do more. I become more curious. I become more, just not fighting, not looking forward to what I have to get done. I just look forward to things more because it just comes. There's like a flow that comes post meditation for maybe a couple hours, and then it starts to die out.
Even when you're in that flow, like as you are aware, like, and you might have to like sharpen the awareness as much as possible, because some people are like, they just have a thought come into their minds and then they're just not aware of it. They go with it and they don't think about it. It's kind of like the breath. There are ways in which people's minds are operating in ways that they're not in control of. You can inhibit those thoughts. So I've got company over, but what else about it can I say quickly? The reason why it's important is because of what you said. It allows that ability to access that, and the more people practice, the more that like period of time they mentioned as 2 hours would extend throughout the course of the day, because they're like constantly in control. Like they're inhibiting the intrusive, discursive thoughts that don't serve them, and they're like only paying attention to ones that are naturally, spontaneously occurring as they're living their life in the pure moment. And we'll talk more about this, Dolan, but there's like a really good YouTube video of Carl Friston talking about flow, and he's starting to get into like meditation and flow in his research and everything, and it's pretty cool. But I'll just land it there. And sorry I talked for so long, but I've got to like either just listen for a while or get going because I've got company. But I used to be an angry. No, I'm just joking. It makes it more. Meditation also makes the time that we're together with our friends more meaningful because we're actually paying attention, and that is something that the phones have really tampered with when it comes to people paying attention to the people that they love. Instead, they're paying attention to their phones and sending a message or something on social media, and that's not really necessarily natural. But it's the way technology is changing our attention, and that's something to be aware of as well as we're speaking about meditation, is how technology is impacting a person's sense of agency. And I'll shut up now and then go to the audience, but I love you.
Thanks, Kyle. Love you too. How has Clubhouse affected your attention?
It strengthened it because I have to do what I'm doing right now and make sure that I inhibit being on Clubhouse and to pay attention to the people around me.
Hey, dude, I posted a link to, I think the video was the Carl Friston on Flow. Thanks.
Beautiful. Is it the Love and Philosophy one with there's this girl that does a podcast called Love and Philosophy, and it's that one that I was listening to, and it's pretty cool listening to him. And that's all like part of meditation as a person's living.
There was on a group called Flow and Philosophy.
Oh, that would be cool.
Well, I was looking for something to check out. It's like I've noticed lately, TV bores me. I'll be watching some dumb show or something on Netflix, and I'm like, I just can't focus on it. I don't know. It just doesn't seem interesting.
Well, that's beautiful. Let's talk about if there is a difference between focus and attention.
Did you catch me picking the nose?
Interesting as it relates to meditation. I gotta go.
I think that Steve Huberman was talking about building. There's go and no-go circuits in our brain.
So do you mean Andrew Huberman or Steve Huberman?
I think it's Stephen Huberman, I believe. I think he's a Stanford, I don't know, neuroscience or something.
Oh, you mean the Huberman Lab podcast?
Yes. He does some interesting ones.
Yeah.
And he's done a lot of training. I think he's done a lot of training for special operations and stuff. He's trained soldiers on using breath work to reduce mental stress, which is interesting because you can actually change. Well, you guys all know that you can change your stress level just through breathing. Which is so crazy.
Yeah, I still think that exercise is probably the ultimate in curing my depression, at least temporarily. Like if I do a really hard exercise, it'll be so easy for me to fall asleep that night. Like no matter what is happening the next day, no matter, it's just exercise is just, yeah, it's amazing.
I read somewhere, I forget where, and I wish we had some of these neurobiologists on the stage so they can tell us when we're talking out of our ass. I had read that, and that's the problem with my ADHD brain. I forget shit so quickly. I'll literally change my own, my brain will shift from one topic to the other, and now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, right. The go, no-go circuits. Yeah, Huberman was doing something on that. And, I hadn't thought of it because we get so conditioned, through phones and things like that. And I think a lot of you have probably done this. I know I was doing it. my phone would vibrate and I'd immediately pick it up, and it became like a Pavlovian response, and Steve Huberman was talking about that, and he said the way you can untrain that, train the no-go circuit. So the go circuit is what makes you want to grab the phone. But you can train the no-go circuit by when you want to grab the phone, resisting the urge, and you can rewire your brain to no longer, pick up the phone every time it vibrates. I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to learn and to start applying.
Did you find that the military helped you with a lot of these things, with like discipline and just like mental toughness?
Yeah, it does, because I said I never meditated, but in a way, when you need to get through really, really, really difficult things, the only way you can do it is through meditation, because if you start focusing on the pain and how horrible it is, you'll quit. So when you're under that kind of extreme, pain, being able to just be in the moment and keep pushing will be the only thing that keeps you going. Like, just not thinking about it, just kind of accepting where you're at and just making it another second.
So even meditation overrides anything you learned about discipline with the military?
No, I guess what I'm saying is that I think I didn't know that I was using meditation when I was going through the military. I didn't, because right now I thought about it and I said, yeah, I've been through a lot of very difficult situations. And how did I get through them? Well, the way I got through them was by just not, focusing on just the moment and just saying, I just need to take one more step, just one more step, just one more step. And eventually it's over, whatever it is they're making you do, eventually it's going to stop. And all you have to do is just, survive that extra second, And as soon as you start thinking about quitting or how hard it is, that's when people quit. So you're, in a way, you're just blocking all that out of your mind. And that's what the military helped me do. And I think because of that, I think that's why I appreciate meditation, because I can understand how when you're in those situations, you have to meditate. That's the only way you're going to get through stuff like that. I think there was a story of a Nepalese monk. Was it when I forget, but I think it was the Japanese or the Chinese had invaded, and they locked this monk up for like, I think he was locked up for, I have to find the video because he talks about it. I think he was locked up like 10, 20 years or something like that, under extreme torture, And he said the only way he survived that was through meditation. That he just meditated, one more second, one more second, one more second, and that he knew that he would either die or eventually it would end. And he eventually got out and he was freed. And he said something to the effect, you may be able to take my body, but you can't take or you may be able to, there's something about, it had to do with reincarnation, you may be able to kill me in this life, but not the next, something like that, which was crazy. Imagine being in prison for like 20 years, getting beaten and just having, how could you survive that? Like, everybody would want to just quit, instantly.
So were you saying earlier that holding your breath, like, could that improves your attention? Or what does that improve by holding your breath?
Oh, holding, I think it improves mental function because, by doing breath holding and breath work, you're increasing the blood to your brain, and you're also learning how to breathe. Like most of us don't breathe. Like, if you look at yourself throughout the day, you'll notice that you're not really taking full breaths. You're just kind of breathing from the top of your lungs. And becoming aware of your breath and taking air throughout the day will raise your blood oxygen level, which is better for brain function. So yeah, that's something that has improved, and also it improves all other stuff like running. It improves cardiovascular stuff. So the breath work helps with the cardiovascular stuff. Which makes sense, right? If you can increase your oxygen utilization and your CO2 tolerance, it means you can run harder and longer, You say you meditate, Dolan? Do you meditate?
Yeah, I mean, it fluctuates. Like, I'll go months of doing it, like, every day, and then I'll take long breaks. Like, I'll go weeks and months, and even, I'm not consistent. That's my problem. But I do find it's just hard to sit there, and do it. Because I have ADD too, so it's, it's hard for me to.
Actually, the dive tables might help you too, because that's the problem I was having with meditation. You're just not doing anything, right? But the dive, doing something like controlled, breath holds gives me that distraction. I don't know how to explain it, but it gives me something to do. So I'm not doing nothing while I'm holding my breath or while I'm meditating. And I think that makes it, I think it enhances, I think my meditation is better and my breath holding is better by combining the two. They kind of help each other. And the other thing for you, and this is another thing that I learned that I think was hugely instrumental for my type of brain. Habit stacking. Have you heard of habit stacking?
I think I read about that in that book. Have you heard of that book, Atomic Habits?
No, I haven't read that one, but I forget where I heard about habit stacking, and I started doing that. And it's a good way to create a habit. Like, the meditation, what I do is I told myself, I said, first thing in the morning, before I pick up my phone, I'm going to do this. And it only takes like a minute and a half. So it's not like a big commitment, like if you can't wait a minute and a half to check your fucking phone, like what the hell is wrong?
So do you have major checklists?
No, I don't, but I generate patterns in the day, like I have to have patterns in my day, and that way I don't need a checklist, so like, and I know this is going to sound Rain Man-ish, but that's how our brain, that's how we're able to operate, is by, having set things that we don't have to think about, right? So I get up in the morning and without thinking, I'll do the gratitude practice, and I just do it. I hit probably about 90% of the days I'll do it. There's some days where I'll miss, I don't kill myself over it. And then I love to have an espresso first thing in the morning. And now we're talking about a habit, right? Some people might say it's a bad habit. I don't know, but I like an espresso first thing in the morning.
I do find that caffeine kind of increases my anxiety, and I find that I actually find that when I don't have coffee, I'm actually happier, but I have more energy when I drink coffee. So, and I think I have maybe a little more awareness, but I'm not as happy as I would be if I did not have coffee.
Oh wow! Well, I've blown that one because that's become a habit, and like now I look forward to it, and I like the taste. For me, it's really not the effect. I really like espresso with heavy cream and sugar, and it just tastes good, So it's more. I think for me, it's more of a food thing, not so much the caffeine end of it. But since I did that every day, and I wanted to start exercising, I said, okay. After I drink my espresso, I'll go do a super quick workout, and I'm talking like super quick, like 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 sit-ups, and like 30 squats, air squats. And that way I'll get one tiny little workout in the day, so if nothing else happens, at least I've done that. And and then I build upon that, and I have a set schedule. So like after that, I'll walk my dog usually, and I count that as my exercise. And then when I get back, I do some work, as I call it. The work is the stuff that pays the bills. I'm a patent attorney, in case everybody's looking for a patent attorney.
Do you find that your dog makes you happier?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I've lived with dogs my entire life. I could not live without a dog. I don't know what I would do if I hadn't had dogs my entire life. My dog's like by my bed right now. She's like, well, they get you high, right? They've done studies, and Wisam would probably know about them.
Does your dog alleviate anxiety for you too?
Oh yeah. Like, I could, not only anxiety, but everything, like I could be feeling completely horrible, right? And then all of a sudden, my dog will come up and, it wants attention and give me attention back. And all of a sudden I'll feel great. Dogs are incredible. I've got a Belgian Malinois. She's crazy. This dog is insane, just like the owner. I took her on my 8-mile walk the other day, and she gets back and not even tired. She wants to do like another hour. My little Athena, the Tasmanian devil, I call her. She's a cross between a Belgian Malinois, German Shepherd, Australian cattle dog, and a pit bull. Talk about a crazy mix. My God, she's insane.
Okay, so how long do you think? I'm kind of fixated on this whole Brian Johnson thing. The guy that's trying to live forever. I don't know why.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that guy. That's weird.
Oh.
I haven't been watching news at all. I rarely watch the news anymore.
Oh, he's got like a YouTube channel, and I guess Netflix just came out with a documentary on him. His whole philosophy is "don't die," which is it's kind of interesting because he has the most tested body of all time or whatever. And I don't know. What do you think? You think if you do all the right things that you could live? How long do you think you could live?
That's a good question. I know supposedly like lifespan has been increasing, but my understanding, I think it's mostly due to medical, not so much. I think it's because of medical.
Also to do like I don't know why this Brian Johnson guy is trying to live forever when really your life expectancy has to do with more your genes than anything else. Correct?
Oh, interesting. No, I don't know. I mean, this is why we need the experts up here, because I'm an electrical engineer, so like all this crap that I'm talking about is anecdotal as far as you're concerned, because it's not my field of expertise. But I myself, I think I don't know if I want to live a really long time, but I do want to. I want to be as healthy as possible for the people that depend on me, and that's really my motivation. It's like, frankly, and I've said this before, and it shouldn't sound too bad, but like, if I didn't have people dependent on me, I don't need to be around. Like literally, I have no mission on this earth if I didn't have people that depended on me. So I live with people that depend on me. That's why I'm here.
So I was actually talking about that guy, Brian Johnson or whatever, earlier tonight, because he had posted recently that his average body temperature is like a low-grade fever. Like it was something like 96 or 97. And a whole bunch of people weighed in on that because he's touting this as like some kind of, oh, I must be aging more slowly because I'm using less metabolic processes and this kind of thing. But what he does not seem to realize is that the human body temperature is fine-tuned to avoid parasites and viral replication and all these other things. And like the fever mechanism is the extreme end of that. And even like fungi and whatnot can survive. Like your body temperature is just outside their survivable range, and so by lowering the body temperature like that, he's claiming it means one thing, but he may actually be opening himself up to all kinds of other pathogen problems, which I'm curious to see if his supposedly super, age-defying body will be able to handle significant onslaught just due to dysregulating temperature that much. I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, the other thing is that there are different ways of approaching longevity, and he has a very like tech bro kind of approach, and nootropics and all kinds of interventions, and stem cells and all the things basically. And I don't know that I'm not confident that we have enough data to know whether those are successful long-term strategies, like some of the things he's doing. And I know he's actually discontinued some of the stuff he was doing.
Can you tell me some of the things he's doing? Can you? I have not heard of this guy, so I'm gonna. What's his name? Brian Green? Did you say?
Brian Johnson. He has a
Brian
YouTube
Johnson.
channel. Yeah,
Okay.
just Brian Johnson. And I don't know. Do you have Netflix? I haven't seen the documentary. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the documentary they did on him on Netflix, but I guess it was like a big hit or whatever.
I'm gonna check it out. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think he wrote a book called Don't Die as well, but it didn't get very good reviews.
What kind of things he practices? I know nothing about this.
I know that he eats like the same thing every day. He has this like pudding that he eats a lot of nuts and berries, but then he eats like cauliflower and broccoli as well. I think he said he was on the Club Random podcast with Bill Maher the other day, so I watched some of that. But yeah, he eats like 2 to 3 meals a day, but he eats like small portions. He'll exercise every day for like 30 minutes, I think, and but then also he makes sure like the air in his home is really clean or whatever, an air purifier. And like I guess he just recently he took his son's blood and like injected it into himself, like his son's stem cells or whatever. I don't know if it was stem cells or blood. Like he took the blood of a younger person and like injected it into it. Yeah, so like he did the whole stem cell thing. And
is he a tech billionaire? I just did a quick search. Was he a tech billionaire?
Yeah, he was he sold his company to PayPal or whatever. So he's a billionaire. But so he spends $2 million a year on trying to reverse his aging, or what do they call it? Escape velocity.
This is my opinion, but if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't waste it on myself. Trying to extend I would use it for something good, like actually helping people, like my family and friends and stuff. Just think if he got his wish and he lived to be 10,000 years old.
Well, one of the interesting things, he does meditate, I think, twice a day, in the morning and at night. And he said that his favorite time of the day is like exercise and meditation. So, I don't know. It's just, I figured you might be interested in it. But yeah, for me also is stress, right? Like if you can alleviate your stress as much as possible, I feel like you have a much better chance of living a lot longer.
I think stress is like in all animals is a major factor. I know for fish, for example, I raise, for my profile, I'm an inventor and I built a greenhouse that grows fish, plants, and mushrooms. And the fish, you put them under stress and they'll die, pretty quickly, whether it's chemical stress or other types of stress.
So the other interesting thing is that he measures his erections of his penis every night. So that's actually really interesting because, apparently, like the more erections you have, basically, like when you're asleep, like the healthier you are.
Well, shit, I'm hooking.
Yeah, ability to like maintain an erection and just like, yeah, if you're walking around all day with an erection, it's a good sign.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's interesting. I at one point I was kind of tired or whatever, and I kept hearing about low T.
Low
So,
testosterone.
Yeah, I'm 66 this February. So I had my doctor test me, and of course, it's Kaiser, and you have to like convince him to, like, she's like, why do you want to test it? I go, I don't know. I want to know where it's at. She's like, well, do you think you have a problem? I go, I don't know. That's why I want to test it.
Oh, you want
so
to test your penis?
Testosterone, my
okay.
testosterone levels.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I had to talk the doctor into doing it, and I'm paying for fucking health insurance. Anyways,
Yeah.
so I had it tested, and it came back for like, I have a testosterone of an 18 to 21-year-old. And I thought I was like, wow, that's great. I have all this testosterone. But then I heard that it also increases the probability of prostate cancer. So, I didn't know that part of it.
And one other thing I didn't realize until recently, that cholesterol can also increase your testosterone, even though cholesterol is generally considered to be not that good for you. And you get a lot of your cholesterol from eating meat, right? Or whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Johnson does not eat meat, and but he doesn't claim that meat is necessarily bad for you. That's just his regimen. So yeah, I guess meat. The founder of Whole Foods says that meat is bad, so I'm gonna go with what the founder of Whole Foods says. Because it can increase your chances of heart disease, cancer.
I'm wondering though, whether it's the way we raise the meat. Like, for example, I'm from Ecuador, and there's people that will, they're living they live into the hundreds. It's considered a blue zone, and these are peasants, that are living on a farm, not even a farm, a house with a backyard. They'll have a couple of cows, some chickens. And
when you say blue zone, do you mean happiness levels are high?
No, there's a book called Blue Zones where some guy studied places that had people that were, what do you call people that are 100-year-old octarians? I forget the term. That had the highest population of people that live past 100.
Okay.
And he identified all these different, that he called them blue zones. And, there's still, there's places that are eating meat and chicken, etc. However, it's not being raised the way we raise it. Like the meat that we're getting,
pesticides, GMOs, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not healthy,
Steroids.
Now, the meat they're eating, like a chicken they raise and a cow that they raise, perfectly fine. And again, they don't overdo it. They're not eating just burgers. They'll have some meat with some salad, etc. And they're fine. But of course, here in the Western world, in the United States, we have the whole middle aisle of the supermarket that you're supposed to avoid, right? And even the meat and the chicken, that's farmed the way it is probably causing us cancers and things like that, I would think. Or I've read. Again, I'm not a biologist, so I'm not here to point statistics or whatever. But my understanding is that some of the stuff they put into the food, the way it's grown in factory farms, is not good for us, and that seems pretty obvious.
I also heard that I do find that when I do fasting, like say if I skip a couple of meals or maybe 3 meals, if I go 1 or 2 days or like a day without eating, I do find that kind of my awareness increases a little bit. Do you find that? Do you ever do intermittent fasting?
Yeah, I think intermittent fast. I'm pretty much like, I'm almost even worse than that. I'm like on a 1 meal a day. It's just kind of evolved to that. I was doing intermittent fasting, and then eventually it just became like a 1 meal a day sort of situation. And I know a lot of people find that really weird, but my body's just gotten used to it, and it's very convenient, because I only have to eat one time, and that's it. And it's
What do
mostly
you-
because
Do you eat meat?
well, we do, but not a lot. Like my wife, she cooks for us, and she varies it really well, like pasta and
You
fish,
can't meditate.
chicken. But yeah, I guess I do eat meat, but not. I guess what I'm trying to say is we don't have it all the time, and
you
it's pretty
can.
varied between poultry, fish,
But
and
you can't meditate, buddy. You can.
and cow.
Mm-hmm.
How about yourself? Are you vegan?
Yeah, at this point, I'm pretty much a vegan at this point. Yeah, I've been a vegan for like at least 2 years.
You don't want to hear the argument. And the end of it there. I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, that was like.
And then I was accused of stonewalling, by the way. I was the one.
Yeah, so he wouldn't give the argument.
Like today, because this is one thing that's kind of been really going on. I'll stay up for a few hours and then I gotta go lay down
Sorry,
and go to
excuse me.
sleep.
I apologize.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
No, I already sneezed it out.
Because they're emotionally like 10. And I wonder if that's, just, I mean, that just seems to
Also, boomers
that,
still are of this generation. Like, did you find it, Jeff?
No,
What?
oh no.
Are you serious?
I hear it. I definitely hear it.
Okay, good.
What are you doing? But you
Oh my
can't.
goodness.
Can you do the find my? Can you do the find my thing? Usually you can do that in your
Yeah,
map if because your car is you have the keys. I haven't done it in a while, so forgive me for not knowing.
Yeah, I don't
think
it'll tell me. What is that my car? I don't think it'll tell me what floor it's on.
Okay. You can if you change.
I found it.
You did.
Somehow I thought I was on the 4th floor, but I'm on the 1st floor. I don't even know how that's possible.
Oh my gosh.
That was the only floor I didn't look at.
Yay! I feel better now.
Me too.
I
I don't know how I got it in my head I was on the 4th floor. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense because when you were a kid, you had to just shut up and accept whatever you got, and it wasn't enough,
Yeah.
and do whatever was all the on.
Well, yeah,
You have
and
to?
right, and she was. If you remember,
And,
she was.
Now what you're doing, what she's saying is what you're doing is not enough.
Right.
So now you're feeling like you're doing everything you can, and she's saying it's not enough. So it makes
Well, and then she, sort of throws in this, comparison to my children. I know you don't go that long without speaking to Chloe. So, okay, they're my children. Of course I speak with them more frequently, as if that's a problem. And, she was sick when I was growing up. I mean, we lived with my grandparents for a while. She was very ill. And again, being the oldest, I can't be caretaker. So I don't know. I know it's all intertwined and very. I'm over it now, but man, it bothered me for days. It just really bothered.
I don't have anything solutions, but I freaking understand. And it's weird because it's now that they have time on their hand, or let's just say to your mom, for your mom's sake, now that she has time on her hands, then she's picking apart why isn't such and such on my speed dial and not ready for me immediately like they were when you were younger and growing up.
Well, the other thing is, Kristen, that she's weaponized recently. Not even recently. She's been doing this for 5 years. Like, you know, expediting her death. Well, I'm not going to be here forever. Like this, some sort of guilt trip. You know, I don't even think I'll be here 5 years from now. And I want to say,
Okay.
well, you're nearly 80, so that, yes, that's possible. You know, I don't know how this, like everything is about, I won't be here. I've got to, you know, and I'm like, Mom, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, you're right. You might not be here, so let's not spend the remaining years complaining.
Bickering.
You know, just a thought.
Yeah. My mom would do that too, and in retrospect, I wish I had said something of the nature of, what is it that you're needing from me?
Single.
What am I doing, or what am I not doing that you need from me
Exhausting.
right now?
You know what, Kristen? I'm wondering, like,
Dry.
I don't know if they know. It's like they want you to fill the void.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's
dating
wanting
is
me
like
to
war.
fill this void that,
Dating is like war.
you know, frankly, I love her to pieces. I don't have, I mean,
Dating
I
is
have
like
kids.
war.
I now have a granddaughter. I have a
Oh,
job.
fair.
I have things. Now I have
fair.
the ability to travel. I want to do those things.
Yeah.
And she's not, I mean, she's capable. She takes care of herself. She's not, you know, disabled in any
Healthy.
way. Right.
Okay.
Healthy, otherwise healthy. Yes. So I don't know what it is,
Meditation.
you know, that
It's more fun.
she needs. And I am the one that she complains to.
Meditation
Like,
is
she
more
doesn't
fun.
do this to the others.
Dating is like war. All is
I
fair.
wonder what the others do. Complains.
When they hit a certain age, the thing about, you know, my
Haven't
mom's in
found
her
the
80s.
one.
When they hit a certain age, there's this
like
weird
the
kind of
bad, I can
erase
still
button
see
or
the
reset
bikini.
button.
Yes.
Where you turn back into their direct
In the
family
bikini.
again. Because when, you know, it's weird because when you
Yeah,
have
but I can
kids
still
and
see
you're
you in
young,
a bikini. Haven't found
they
the
roll
one.
into grandparent and they're happy to be grandparent. And you're a parent and they come babysit or they help or whatever. And your family is one thing. You're still a part of the bigger family, but there's an acknowledgement. And then they hit a certain age. For my mom, it was like 80, 81. And then all of a sudden they feel like they're back in your family again. They're like right back on top.
Yes.
And so
Isn't
my
this
mom
guy
did
like
that
a
same
fake
thing
judge?
a few years
I
ago
thought he
where
served
it's
in the
like,
IDF. He
you know,
doesn't
you
even
talk to the
speak
kids every day. I
Hebrew.
talk to my mother every other day because of the reality of our family and the family trust
What the
and
fuck,
everything else.
Danny? Danny's
But
outing
she will
me?
still be like, oh, I talked to Ariel and she talked to you today. So if I talk to one of my kids and then she talks to them before talking to me, she will bitch about it.
Shut the fuck up. All right, we're moving over to Adrian Dittman live on X. Here we go.
Looking at statistics than anyone whose job doesn't involve statistics.
Yeah. I too am a data scientist.
I spent so much of my fucking free time just looking at data and statistics. I'm like, yep. Ooh, this is the market share of this
I
specific
want to see
product.
the bikini before.
This is the market share in fucking Brazil. This is the market share in India. This is the market share in the US. Do I sell this product? Fuck no. But I want to know the statistics.
But here's the interesting part. Here's where it gets interesting. Right. I think from a social dynamics perspective,
What are you doing here,
makes
Princessia?
sense
Don't you have to go to the
understand
gym?
whether or not the Chinese, from a sexual desire perspective, are into themselves or into another nation. It's ironic that when you look at Pornhub usage in fucking China, that somehow the Chinese want to fuck Japanese more than themselves, even though you have places like fucking Italy and like Brazil and all of this, like where the men are just basic fucking narcissists. These people really are into their own category. It's incredible. And why is Poland into anal? Explain this one to me. Why?
To be fair.
What the fuck is wrong with Canada? Why is Canada lesbian? What the fuck is this shit? What's going on there, man?
The French influence, I swear.
To be fair,
And then the French, they're like into all of their own search terms. They literally have like zero international reach. What the fuck, man? What the fuck is wrong with these people? Can somebody explain to me what's wrong with French people? Why are you so into yourselves? Like even on the porn level, it's hilarious, man.
To be fair specifically with China, it's not like the Chinese people have many good porn options for Chinese people.
Oh my god.
No, I'm serious. Like, pretty much the only country in all of Asia that has like a massive porn industry is Japan.
This is true. I want to know, what does China have state-sanctioned porn?
No, I'm pretty sure China. I'm pretty sure porn.
Are you missing Diego Princessia? Did he leave you? Did he leave you in your J-word hate? He's probably dating a J-word now.
Industry of women.
You love him so much, you should love yourself, fatty. You're such a loser. Such a sucker. There's no such thing as Diego love. Just love yourself and go from there, fatty.
So this was something that they were resorting to, where it was like sexually suggestive. That's the reason I know that porn is banned in China.
I guess you know, when you looked at the it reminds me of something. There was this weird political counter advert that was put out by the lefties during election time in the US about somehow you not having like your own porn preferences. And I didn't even understand the message of it anymore. It was super lip-taught bullshit. Either way, it's funny because that's like what China effectively did with this, right? Like they cracked down on their own porn category. Why don't they just have state-sanctioned porn? Do you think North Korea has state-sanctioned porn? If any country has state-sanctioned porn, I want to know what it is.
I don't think so. The only country I could see potentially doing
I'm gonna learn Chinese.
The only country I can see doing that is the Netherlands.
Oh yeah, because they have it like baked into the law system. Legal
check.
Right.
I know, apparently I was told by someone that if you're like fucking disabled, and you're getting government benefits, apparently the Netherlands pays for hookers for you. The government. Because they see like having sex as like a human right or something.
We need to go there. We need to get our state-sanctioned hookers. Imagine getting fucked by the government, but literally. Wow. Does that mean that if I pay taxes there, my tax dollars are fucking someone else? That's literally what it is. It's incredible.
Yes.
That totally redefines the definition of fuck you money.
Not on a boat.
Remarkable.
Not on a boat.
Yeah, it says no country officially sanctions pornography.
Okay.
But not for real though. I think I need to start learning Chinese.
Which Chinese?
The most popular version of it, the one that's like used by the general population, especially when it comes to anything that's like communicated.
You're talking Mandarin, but with Mandarin, are you talking specifically traditional or?
I'm gonna look at classical. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna look at like classical Chinese. Whatever is, again, I don't care. Whatever is used more commonly.
That's simplified.
Yes, so I'm gonna relearn that shit.
Depends what country you wanna work with. If it's Taiwan, you need traditional.
I'm not gonna work with Taiwan. I don't get any parts from Taiwan.
Right. So you want to simplify them.
I want to be able to, as a troll, read the Communist Manifesto in Chinese to someone who I believe is like an intelligence agent. Just kidding.
Wow.
There's obviously a troll, there's no such thing. But, you know. start exercising massively. Today, I'm gonna do 120 push-ups and diamonds and sit-ups. I'm gonna do a few pull-ups also. I am going to be so sore and fucked that I'll have to rest for like a few days, but I'll still do my normal 15 allocated. So fuck this shit. Let's go.
Yeah. So it says organizations in the Netherlands, like, I don't know how the fuck to pronounce that, provide sex care for people with severe disabilities, focusing on intimate physical touch and sexual satisfaction.
Jesus Christ.
Flexzorg.
What?
I don't know.
Send it to me. I don't know what the hell you're saying there. Send it to me. What the fuck is this shit?
How the fuck should I know?
Flexzorg? Flexzorg? I don't know, maybe. Flexzorg. I think. Fucking, I don't know. The most racist way to pronounce that thing. I don't know. There's like zero way that that's happening. Oh my god. What the hell is this shit? It's like 4 hours. Like, what the hell? I'm looking at some like random shit that's coming across my timeline. For some reason, my post about the super heavy booster catch is performing like hella.
That's a good post. I like that one.
Everyone, wow, 12 times per year. It's like once a month. Incredible. So it's like it's basically like sex in the Netherlands is like paid leave. That's weird.
Wild.
I don't think anyone truly understood the Socrates meme. Not Socrates meme, sorry. The Kaiser meme. Can somebody... Oh, I remember now. And by the way, did you guys see this? The CIA is becoming based again.
Really?
Holy shit! Fucking yes!
Hey, what?
So lightning just struck right next to me. Okay, that storm is going to be on top of me in like 2 minutes.
Damn, dude. Another
Fucking
close strike.
dude, I literally saw the flash, and it's like, and the sound of the crack of the crack, the you know, that fuck. So yeah, that thing is, what is it? It's like 400 meters away. You know, this one time, I was outside, I was doing my thing, I was chilling, having a communication with someone. I was looking at it so like, man, that thing's coming awfully close. It was raining, it was doing well. And then all of a sudden, I was looking at this mountain in front of me. I had this feeling that lightning was about to strike right fucking there. And literally 10 seconds or so after that, fucking lightning directly struck that bitch. I was like, all right, time to go inside.
Yeah. Don't blame you.
Fucking straight up, man.
Crazy. I've never seen him that close before.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. By the way, Jordan Crone post is nice.
Well, in 2 seconds, I was just reading something on my timeline that tickled my interest. They're saying 0% capital gains tax if you found your crypto company in the U.S., 30% if you don't. That's pretty lucrative.
Yeah. All right.
By the way, Adrian, check the group chat in X.
Which one?
Yeah, no. The best one. You know that one. Best group chat in the world, that one.
He will. It's funny. Don't die. He will if he doesn't watch the anime. Yes, this is a threat. And then the fucking cat.
Motherfucker made me sit through 3 movies of The Matrix.
Did you watch the Animatrix at least? It's pretty good.
I haven't seen.
Yes,
The Animatrix is not nearly as good as the original 3.
Yeah, but it's still cool. It adds a little bit of color to it, like the world and everything.
Yeah, but compared to the originals, like, come on.
No, it's pretty good. It's extended lore. Everybody gets gotta love the extended lore. A true appreciator of the lore is like you have to understand the.
I don't know. I guess it wasn't that impressive for me because I'm watching it like later than everyone else. But if you watch it from a young age, it was probably super impressive.
Yes, it was. I was like 10 years old or something when I first saw it, or 12.
Keep in mind, these movies are from the very early 2000s. Like, VFX were barely making it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what that was incredible.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
That one scene with the helicopter where it flew into the side of the building there, and the way that's panned out, that thing nearly bankrupted the fucking movie.
Yeah, you said that, yeah.
No.
Yeah, you know that they shot that 5 times, and the last time they shot it, they weren't going to give him another helicopter?
Wait, was that a real helicopter?
Yeah, that was like their fifth or 6th helicopter. The last time they were about to shoot it, they said they weren't going to give him another one. I think it cost them like $1.7 million.